We're back here on the platform, and we're talking about the Sister Breast Support Group and the contribution of the NIGAD organization internationally. And Andrea Sweeting, you've been on this program on numerous occasions, but I want to use every occasion so that you can talk to the Bahamian population, women in particular, on what they ought to be doing to ensure that they are doing the right tests and that they are aware of what is happening with their bodies.
It is the educational part of it, and Sister has been really trying to make sure that we get that message out, that early detection truly saves lives. One of the things is that we ask persons to make sure that they do their monthly self-breast examinations, which is to actually check their breast, either lying down or in the showers with one hand above the head, so that they can actually feel what is going on. We also ask them to do it 2 weeks before the menstrual cycle or 2 weeks afterwards when the breast is more relaxed, so that they would be able to see what is happening and the breast is not actually feeling painful. Then there are other signs as well. We can have what we call dippling of the nipple. The areola can be very dark or getting darker. You can have scales on that area as well. So it's a lot of little signs that you can look for. Nobody knows the body better than you do. And so we want you to realize that you are the individual who is going to go to a doctor and say to him, when you sit, he's going to say, what is the problem? You have to tell him what the deal is. And so we want women to know for a fact that the changes that come about in your body, they may not be very good ones, but you can assist yourself with it. Don't wait. Please don't wait. We must realize that we have a mammoth task here within our Bahamas. And when I say that is, if everybody's going to go through the public system, there is going to be a wait system. So if you're going to wait to actually present yourself when you need a mammogram and you already know that this lump is out of control, then you're going to have to wait for surgery and everything else. So all of it, we ask women, the minute you find something, try to figure out what's going on. Get to a healthcare giver and let them know. But you got to be persistent. We have to be persistent. And a lot of us, we get to the point where the minute we think there is something very wrong, we want to just sit back and die. We got to step out.
How often should a woman do a mammogram?
It should be done annually. It should be done annually, unless there is something that your doctor and you are actually watching. That should be done annually. And so that is why we want to make sure when these women do go, if there is something wrong, then you need to know what is your next step. How am I going to do it? In most cases, for the women, once they get a mammogram, and the thing is, they say the mammogram hurts. Yes, it might hurt. But with the new machines now, there's not much of it. But, you know, we perm our hair, we got a hair burn, and we're not upset about that. That lasts much longer than that extra pressure. But it has to be flattened out for the machine to really look at the breast and see what's going on within it.
Is this a very expensive exercise?
No, the mammogram is about $150. And during the month of October, we've had several of our areas who would actually have a reduced cost, half the price. And so they try to actually promote that. I think it's the breast center. They're also right now, they've extended theirs until the end of November because of Matthew. And so that makes great sense. The fourth terrace diagnostic has just actually stopped theirs on the 4th, which is today. Theirs is ended. And that is one of the things that we realized too.
Yeah, we mentioned BRCA1
Yes.
and BRCA2 earlier on, and we've had a number of programs where we spoke about this gene. How is the research going with that? Do you know?
Well, the research is not being funded anymore, not locally.
Okay.
The main thing, that grant has actually run out, and so we're not doing the BRCA1 gene through the funding anymore.
So Bahamians are not being tested anymore?
You can be tested through your doctor, yes, if he advises you to do so, but it's expensive. It's expensive. Yes.
After all of the tests that went on over the years,
Yeah.
what results did we get from those tests?
One of the results that we actually got from those tests is telling us that there is a third gene that is very prevalent within our Bahamian women.
A third gene?
Yeah. That's
So it's
very
BRCA
prevalent.
1, BRCA 2, now BRCA
Maybe
3?
yeah. But it's prevalent here within our Bahamian society. And I truly feel it's because of the mere fact that we are kind of interrelated.
This third
Yeah,
gene,
there is a very prevalent one that they're looking at within our Bahamian society, yes.
yeah, interrelated.
I think so. I think so. When we have our meetings, it's one of the strangest things that a young girl will come in and there's her aunt sitting there, someone she didn't know.
But all of we is one family.
All of we is one family. I think so. And they didn't lie when they sang that song.
Is that right? Well, you know, but that, I guess, because of population growth,
Yes.
it is more pronounced now than it has ever been, eh?
I think so, and we may not want to believe it, but you know, it's just something that we've been seeing within our own little grouping, and when we go to the islands and we visit the islands, it's another thing to see it as well, and we know that we have more cancer cases coming from certain islands than others.
What are the islands that are more popular?
Andros, Eleuthera, and Abaco.
Andros, Eleuthera, and Abaco.
Yep.
Mm.
Those are the more dense populated ones, and those are the ones where the actual gene is even more prevalent as well. Yep.
Interesting. Fundraising events, we want to talk about that because it's always important to raise funds. NIGAD Inc. is doing what it's doing internationally. You were giving $1 from every slim, NIGAD Slims.
October.
For October, but you're going to do some more?
Yes, there's ongoing things happening all over the
Okay.
world.
Okay.
But they have a run coming up in January.
Yes, in January, it's the Komen Race for the Cure, Bahamas
Right.
Komen Race for the Cure,
Right.
and it's in January 14th. So we're asking our local people, please be a part of that. And it's actually sponsored by Sunshine Bahamas, and the company there. It's the marathon weekend. So we have a lot of excitement that's going on for it. So we just ask women to please be a part of that. If you are a survivor, you can register early. Registration is all open now. So we want persons to go up and get themselves registered.
Before we take another break, what about diet? And let's speak a little bit about that. For people who have contracted breast cancer or who are being treated for breast cancer, what about diet?
We ask our women truthfully to be very, very careful with their diets. Exercise is one of the main things we want them to realize too. Diet is prevalent because even though, one of the things though, what I realized, and I'm not sure if everybody's on the same web page, but when we're going through chemotherapy or even radiation, most of us are not feeling 100%. And so we ask you please to eat whatever you can at that point in time. And the minute you're finished, then you have to really take better care of yourself. Some persons feel within themselves, okay, they can do alternative medicines. We're not saying that they don't work. I think they work, but do we know how much do we take at one point in time? And so what we're saying, the body is ill right now, let's get it well. And once we're well, then we can figure out what is the best method of us to maintain this. And so, yes, eating healthy is going to help you. It is going to give you that added strength and added zest to life. But you got to figure out what is best for you because we're all unique and different.
Okay, Bianca, you brought along, as you normally do, some videos for us.
Yes.
And what are they?
Well, it shows the cancer care facility that my dad contributes, and NIGAD International contributes to. And then also our fashion show that we recently had in Winnipeg with some of the cancer survivors over there in Winnipeg in our NIGAD store.
Okay, very good. So we're going to take this break, and when we return, we'll see some of those videos that you brought along. We take this break, we'll come right back.